Hi, I'm Chancellor Agard, and we're live at the 2019 EW Comic-Con studio presented by Toyota Corolla with the star of Krypton, Cameron Cuffe.
Hey man, how's it going?
Good. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm very well, yeah, all's good.
So we know there's no con greater than Comic-Con. I'm curious, what are you most excited for?
Oh man, like Comic-Con's the most special thing in the world to me. It's one of my favorite weekends of the year because I was a very lonely nerd growing up. Like I was bullied for loving comic books and stuff like that, so it was something I kept to myself. But Comic-Con is a place where people come together to celebrate this thing they love unashamedly. Just like this, I love this thing and it's great, and they get to share it with each other, and that's my favorite thing.
I mean, clearly you're a Nightwing fan because of this awesome jacket.
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like, what are you most excited? I guess, is there like a property you're most excited to check out while you're here? Or?
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, honestly, I think the thing I'm most excited to do is hang out with the comic book people. Like I still read comic books every week. I have since I was 8. So for me, it's hanging out with the writers and the artists. That's the thing I'm most excited to do.
What are you reading these days?
I've been reading Action, I'm a big Superman guy, obviously. Action, Superman. I recently finished Heroes in Crisis, which is brilliant.
Nice. I love Tom King.
Oh, Tom King's brilliant. I've just started. I wanted to wait for Mr. Miracle until it was a collected trade paperback. So I've just started diving in. I'm really pacing myself because it's brilliant.
Mr. Miracle is probably my favorite comic I've read in the past decade, I think.
It's brilliant. It's truly brilliant.
And Tom King's just a brilliant writer. And
oh gosh, yeah. And I can't wait to see what he does with New Gods as well. Like that's him and Ava DuVernay. That's just match made in heaven. It's gonna be brilliant.
But I guess we should also talk about Krypton, obviously, because Krypton last week had a big death, Lyta.
Yeah.
I'm curious for you. I mean, how did you react when you first sort of found out that she was going to die, or appeared as though she's going to die?
Yeah. I mean, it was a bold move, and I think that was the thing that we wanted to illustrate, that this is the kind of show where we're going our own direction. This is a new timeline. No one's safe, really. So even the characters you think might survive may not. And I think it's the death sort of illustrated that. It illustrated the depths that people are willing to go to in order to achieve their goals. We've always said that we've never really had heroes or villains on this show. It's just people who are deeply motivated to try and achieve their goal. And this terrible act was done by the rebellion, who we typically think of as the good guys, but they've done something horrible, and it divides them as well. So the ramifications of that going forward are going to be huge for the show.
So, as far as you know, or as much as you can tell us, is Lyta actually dead?
Well, here's what I'll say. Krypton wouldn't be Krypton if there wasn't a massive twist coming.
Okay. And I'm curious, I mean, what does this mean for SEG, at least moving forward? Because, I mean, obviously they had that very profound relationship.
Yeah, of course. Lyta was someone who meant the whole world to him. For a very long time, that was his whole world, was this woman. It was an escape. And they always saw each other, because of course she was sort of stuck in a cycle that she didn't want to be in either, and they always longed to be with each other because that was their way out, that was their escape, and that's gone now. And I think it's another moment for Seg to realize that this is on the path that he's on, and it's not always going to be easy, and you can't save everyone, which is one of the more tragic stories that echoes within the stories of the House of El.
And I mean, this season as well, I mean, Seg also has sort of this Brainiac in his brain at the moment. I mean, for you, what has it been like, sort of as an actor, sort of getting to play that aspect of the story? I mean,
it's so fun. It's so much fun to do, and I got to spend a lot more time with Blake Ritson this year, who obviously plays Brainiac, and he's completely brilliant, and it's such a fascinating dynamic to play, and it's a real joy, and it's one of those things that really makes Seg question who he is as a person, because there's a cheat code in his brain that could let him win, but also he knows that if he succumbs to that temptation, then it could potentially be world-destroying for Krypton. So there's a wonderful dynamic between the two of them because they are so different, but there's also this thing that ties them together. Brainiac needs Seg to survive, and Seg needs Brainiac as well.
I mean, because you had that sequence in I think it was the last episode as well, where you went sort of full Brainiac and just shooting people without even looking, which I thought was really, really cool.
Yeah, it was really, really fun to do. And I think this year, one of the things we want to do, obviously with Lobo as well, was really embrace that this is a comic book show. This is a world that, even though our show is much more science fiction, this is still a show that has superpowers and amazing technology and aliens, and we really want to lean into that even more.
I was going to ask you about Lobo. I mean, this show is a very serious show, and then Lobo is just like this element that's just tonally just sort of dissident with everything that's going on. I mean, what was it like for you to sort of to like shoot those scenes with him, and like, cause
it was so much fun. Like it was great, and I think that the motto that we all had going into it was that, you know, we'd done the hard work last year of introducing the world and the story and the characters, and this year I just think we wanted to go further in every way, and even in the let's just have more fun with this. And Lobo is such a wild, crazy character, and I think we were all sort of the most interesting thing was we got there. And the stuff that we shot in Tullamore Forest on Kolu was the first stuff that we shot for the whole season.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What a way to dive in.
What a way to start, right? And it was really great fun. And Krypton has always been such a collaborative process. The writers are very often there with us on set, or Cam Welsh, our showrunner's there. And we played it loose, and we really got an opportunity to sort of workshop that character, and as much as we were sort of going up to Cameron and saying, hey, we've got this idea, he and Kirsten Van Horn, who wrote those episodes as well, would come up to us and say, hey, we've got this idea as well, so why don't we try it out? And it was such a wonderful experience, and it was really great fun. And Emmett, there are so few actors who could have done justice to Lobo, but I think he really nails it.
And finally, I mean, we still have a few more episodes left of season 2. I mean, what can you tease about where the season's ultimately going?
Well, okay, so it's episode 7 next. One of the biggest developments on our show happens in that episode. I'm just going to say it's a moment that fans have been waiting for. It's a moment that I've been waiting for, both as an actor and a fan. And then, you know, calling it what it is, our biggest episodes that we have ever shot are the last 2 episodes of this season.
What made them so big?
In a word, Doomsday.
Awesome. Well, thank you for stopping by. Everyone, Krypton airs Wednesdays at 10 p.m. on Sci-Fi, and stay tuned to EW.com for more Comic-Con coverage.